Hello and welcome to another video of this course. This is module 7 and we're going to be looking at climate change. And under that, we're going to be looking at global warming, causes of climate change, effects of climate change, and how to stop climate change. So let's quickly go into the introduction. Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. And such shifts can be natural due to changes in the sun's activity or large volcanic eruptions. But since the 1800s, human activities have been the main driver of climate change, primarily due to the burning of fossil fuels like coal and gas. Burning fossil fuels generates greenhouse gas emissions that act like a blanket wrapped around the earth, trapping the sun's heat and raising temperatures. And that leads us to the next point, global warming. What is global warming? Global warming results from the increasing concentration of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases that trap heat in the Earth's atmosphere. This trapped energy comes from incoming solar radiation absorbed by the Earth's surface and re-radiated back into the atmosphere as infrared energy. The current phase of climate change, often called global warming, is largely driven by human activities, particularly the burning of fossil fuels and deforestation, which increases the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. So, what are the causes of climate change? Like we already established, it's due to a lot of human activities, burning of fossil fuels, and all of that. But let's look at them one by one. Generating power. Generating electricity and heat by burning fossil fuels causes a large chunk of global emissions. Most electricity is still generated by burning coal, oil, or gas, which produces carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide, and that these are powerful greenhouse gases that blanket the earth and trap the sun's heat. Number two is manufacturing goods. Manufacturing and industry produce emissions, mostly from burning fossil fuels to produce energy for making things like cement, iron, steel, electronics, plastics, clothes, and other goods. Mining and other industrial processes also release gases, as does the construction industry. Machines used in manufacturing processes often run on coal, oil, or gas, and some materials like plastics are made from chemical sources from fossil fuels. The manufacturing industry is one of the largest contributors of greenhouse gases worldwide. We also have cutting down forests. Cutting down forests to create farms or pastures or for other reasons causes emissions, since trees, when they are cut, release the carbon they have been storing. And each year, approximately 12 million hectares of forest are destroyed. Since forests absorb carbon dioxide, destroying them also limits nature's ability to keep emissions out of the atmosphere. Another cause is using transportation. Most cars, trucks, ships, and planes run on fossil fuels, and that makes transportation a major contributor of greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide emissions. We also have producing food. Producing food causes emissions of carbon dioxide, methane, and other greenhouse gases in various ways, including through deforestation and clearing of land for agriculture and grazing, digestion by cows and sheep, the production and use of fertilizers and manure for growing of crops, and the use of energy to run farm equipment or fishing boats, usually with fossil fuels. Another reason is powering buildings. Globally, residential and commercial buildings consume over half of the electricity. As they continue to draw on coal, oil, and natural gas for heating and cooling, they emit significant quantities of greenhouse gas emissions and just generally consuming too much. The home and use of power, how you move around, what you eat, and how much you throw away, all of these contribute to greenhouse gas emissions. Let's look at the effects of climate change. Number one, we have hotter temperatures. As greenhouse gas concentrations rise, so does the global surface temperature. Higher temperatures increase heat-related illnesses and make working outdoors more difficult. Wildfires start more easily and spread more rapidly. When conditions are hotter, temperatures in the Arctic have warmed at least twice as fast as the global average. Another effect is severe storms. Destructive storms have become more intense and more frequent in many regions. As temperatures rise, more moisture evaporates, which exacerbates extreme rainfall and flooding, causing more destructive storms. We have increased drought. Climate change is changing water availability, making it scarcer in more regions. Global warming exacerbates shortages in already water stressed regions and is leading to an increased risk of agricultural droughts, affecting crops and ecological droughts, increasing the vulnerability of ecosystems. Another effect is rising oceans or water levels. The ocean soaks up most of the heat from global warming, and the rate at which the ocean is warming strongly increased over the past 2 decades. Melting ice sheets also cause sea levels to rise, threatening coastal and island communities. In addition, the ocean absorbs carbon dioxide, keeping it from atmosphere. But more carbon dioxide makes the ocean more acidic, which endangers marine life and coral reefs. We also have loss of species as one of the effects. Climate change poses risks to the survival of species on land and in the ocean. The risk increases as temperatures climb. Forest fires, extreme weather, and invasive pests and diseases are among many threats related to climate change. We have um, reduction in food. Changes in climate and increases in extreme weather events are more among the reasons behind a global rise in human and poor nutrition. Fisheries, crops, and livestock may be destroyed or become less productive, with the ocean becoming more acidic, marine resources that feed billions of people at risk, and other health risks, such as um, climate impacts are already harming healthy health through air pollution, disease, extreme weather events, forced displacements, pressures on mental health, and increased hunger and poor nutrition in places where people cannot grow or find sufficient food. And finally, poverty and displacement. Climate change increases the factors that put and keep people in poverty. Floods may sweep away urban slums, destroying homes and livelihoods, and heat can make it difficult to work in outdoor jobs. So, how can we stop um, climate change? Well, stopping climate change entirely is not feasible in the short term, but we can limit its impact and stabilize global temperatures through bold and coordinated actions. So, what are some of these actions? Number one, keeping fossil fuels in the ground. Fossil fuels include coal, oil, and gas, and the more that are extracted and burned, the more climate change will get. So all countries need to move their economies away from fossil fuels as soon as possible. Investing in renewable energy. Changing our main energy sources to clean and renewable energy is the best way to stop using fossil fuels. And this includes technologies like solar, wind, wave, tidal, and geothermal power. We should switch to sustainable transport. Petrol and diesel vehicles, planes and ships use fossil fuels. So reducing car use, switching to electric vehicles, and minimizing plane travel will not only help stop climate change, it will reduce air pollution too. Another point is improving farming and encouraging vegan diets. One of the best ways for individuals to help stop climate change is by reducing their meat and dairy consumption or by going fully vegan. Businesses and food retailers can also improve farming practices and provide more plant based products to help people make the shift. We should restore nature to absorb more carbon. Planting trees in the right places or giving land back to nature through rewilding schemes is a good place to start. This is because photosynthesizing plants draw down carbon dioxide as they grow, locking it away in the soils. We should always protect forests like the Amazons. Forests are crucial in the fight against climate change, and protecting them is an important climate solution. Cutting down forests on an industrial scale destroys giant trees, which could be soaking up huge amounts of carbon. So governments can stop them by making better laws. We can also stop climate change by protecting the oceans. Oceans absorb a large amount of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, which helps to keep our climate stable. Many are overfished, they're used for oil and gas drilling or threatened by deep sea mining. So protecting oceans and the life in them is ultimately a way to protect ourselves from climate change. We should reduce how much we consume. Our transport, fashion, food, and other lifestyle choices all have different impacts on the climate. Reducing overall consumption in more wealthy countries can help put less strain on the planet. And finally, we should reduce our use of plastic. Plastic is made from oil, and the process of extracting, refining, and turning oil into plastic is carbon intense. Demand for plastic is rising so quickly that creating and disposing of plastics will account for 17% of the global carbon budget by 2050. We have come to the end of this lesson. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.